Exactly, bro. And then they tried to tell me, this is the funny story, this is the funny part. Justin tried to tell me that the Liberty was finna be better than us this time. We got the #1. Hey, how y'all doing? What's up? This is the Kid 7 the Bond. You enjoying the summer? I ask you this every video because I legitimately feel like it's been forever since I've seen y'all. But you know, the kid is spread out everywhere on the internet. If you're only interested in the Nets, then you're seeing me on a weekly basis. Whereas if you are anywhere else in the stratosphere of 7 the Bond, you see me just about every day. But that's neither here nor there. And I have to like retrain myself to not curse in videos when I'm back here. But that's neither here nor there. Welcome back to Nets Republic. You see the title of the video. We've already done the Nets slander is out of control video. This is the part 2, and we will eventually get to the actual talent on the team when the literal season is over. Because like in this meantime, in between time, sinus lean time, pop-up time, this is killing me, my brother. Sorry, this is not Juice WRLD o'clock, but it might be on the low. But anyway, in the meantime, killing me, my little bro. Sorry, seriously, I'm focused now. In the meantime, no, seriously, y'all. In the meantime, while the finals are going on, I kind of want to hold off on doing anything serious because I feel like the second I make that is Patty Mills J.R. Smith video, we're going to trade him for Bradley Beal or something like that. And I'm aware that sounds insane, but you know what I mean. So I'm trying to hold off on that. But I've just been noticing that it is impossible. It is literally impossible to have a conversation about the finals without bringing up Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Now, while I am always here for Kevin Durant's slander when it comes to his time in a Golden State, I'm kind of over the Kyrie slander, to be quite honest with you. Because with Kevin Durant, people regard this man as the best player in the league. Y'all know I don't agree with that, but people regard him in this high height. So if you want to take shots at the alleged best player on the planet, then by all means, get your shenanigans off, please. Get it all off. But when it comes to the Kyrie slander, and I know this is wild coming from me, but y'all, it is so done. It is so tired. Leave it alone. Like, I get it. It's low-hanging fruit. Like, I get, but y'all, it's just so lame. I can't. The Celtics are going to the finals, and this is the same Celtics team. Why don't we throw this type of shade at Isaiah Thomas? Is it because he hurt his hip? Is that why we don't say anything? Because he's my height? Is that why we don't say anything about Isaiah Thomas? Like, it's literally the exact same team. But you don't see anything about that, right? We don't see the Brad Stevens jokes like, oh, he wasn't able to do it, but as soon as we got him, it's okay. And if you really want to have a Nets conversation, let's have a Nets conversation. It took one of our assistant coaches to bring those bums into the finals. Like, if you really want to get serious with it, if you really want to get witty with it, if you really want to get Spencer Dinwiddie with it, you got to tell the whole story. Just picking and choosing Kyrie slander just for the sake of Kyrie slander is ridiculous. Like, if someone said Kyrie was the best in the league outside of his stands, then I can completely understand that. But that is never the case. Now, the slander on Kevin Durant is warranted to every degree, and y'all should be cooking that man. Because Lord knows I don't have the energy for it. So y'all should be cooking that man. The fact that Golden State just said copy-paste Wiggins, let's get healthy, and made it back to the finals, absolutely. You should drag that man through the fire and the flames, and I'm glad that man is salty. Anytime someone retweets something from him, because I don't follow that man, but anytime someone retweets something from Kevin Durant, it's always him backtracking of, oh, I love the internet, I love the troll. Like, that is absolute, ooh, I've been sleeping so good at night knowing he's tossing and turning. Ooh, I've been sleeping so good at night. Y'all don't understand. But the reason why I'm making this video is because there's a certain fan base that crawled their way out of the literal lottery basement. And you know you are trash when you can't even tank properly. What pick did y'all end up getting? 16 or something like that? But that's not here to there. Woo. My old friends were back at this again. The Knicks fans have decided to come out of the basement of Cancun and say... They've decided to say that, oh, in the however many years we've had Kyrie and Kevin, which is about 3 years, we have only accumulated, what did that tweet say from Tommy Bear, whoever that bum is, and I've had several verbal run-ins with this man in my past life on YouTube, but that's not here or there. He probably don't know it because the beef is one-sided, but that's not it. Even though I don't really think it is. I feel like they know who the kid is, but that's not either there. It's just like on that Twitter, they just be ignoring me like I ain't out here like that, but that's not either there. Oh, Tommy Boy on Twitter. Oh, Thomas the Tank Engine on Twitter. Gonna tweet out there in the 3 years that we've had him, we've only procured like 16 playoff wins or something like that, or whatever the number is. Let me tell you, whatever the number is, I know y'all ain't talking. I know y'all ain't talking. Y'all didn't even make it to the bubble. Like, of all teams that talk trash about us, like the Heat fans, get it off. You played a great season. The Hawks fans, y'all won a game. Get it off. Get your stuff off. Like, fill in the blank other teams that didn't get swept. Round of applause, no flock of flame. Get your jokes off. We deserve, especially the Celtic fans, we just been having to take it. We like this out here. We just having to take it. You remember in the first Pokemon movie where Pikachu was getting slapped around by his doppelganger? We just got to take that joint. You feel me? We just got to take that joint. But not from bums that didn't even make the playoffs. Laker fans and especially Knicks fans. And what a sorry point it is, my God, in the 3 years. What have you done in the 3 years? Let's backtrack to my previous point. Y'all didn't even make the bubble. Do you know how trash you have to be to have not made the bubble? They practically let the top 11 teams get in to even play for a chance to get into the play-in tournament. You didn't even make the bubble squad. I mean, like really investigate that for a quick second. But we made the playoffs last year. Did you now? You made the playoffs last year. How cute. How'd that go for you? How'd that go for you? The fact that all we have to do is this in your general direction and you're having a panic attack tells me exactly how it went for you. But at least you made the playoffs. Well, let's compare that to us. So let's see. In the restart, you weren't even invited, so you went a literal calendar year without basketball because you're so trash. You can't even blame COVID for that. Y'all are just trash. And I was there. I saw it. I was there. The second year, you barely make the playoffs, and you get a gentleman's sweep in the first round from the Hawks of all individuals, but that's neither here nor there. What did we do that year? We were going to the second round in Game 7 in overtime against the eventual champions. What did you do the next year, which was this year? What did you do this year? You had a hot start. It was awfully cute, and just like the Bulls, the only difference is the Bulls kind of stopped here, but y'all just kept going. And how many point guards did you go through this year, by the way? How did the Kemba Walker thing work out, Surprisingly, at least it wasn't as terrible as the Austin Rivers experiment. Or how about the Elfrid Payton trial? How did that work out? Like, I just don't understand it. Kemba Walker was so trash. Kemba was so trash that man got benched by Tibbs, and not even benched, he was sent home. It wasn't until Derrick Rose got injured for the 9 millionth time that you had to bring him back on some, well, let's see what happens. But he was still so trash that Tibbs and the rest of the organization said, no, just go home. We'll let Alec Burks start. How did you end up with Alec Burks as your starting point guard? Like, I don't want to hear it. The fact that there's more optimism for Jericho Sims over Mitchell Robinson, like, I don't even want to hear it. Y'all were out there with Taj Gibson as your backup center in 2022? I liked our chances with Paul Millsap, to be honest with you. Like, the bummery on display is undisputed with y'all. I mean, just the delusions. And I mean, we can go on for days about how trash y'all are. We really could. How did your most improved Julius Randle work out for you? You know what we were dealing with? We were dealing with real contender issues, trying to figure out how we were going to keep James Harden, trying to figure out when Kyrie Irving was going to come back from the mandate and all that shenanigans, wondering if Kevin Durant will be healthy for a long play. See, these are problems you wouldn't even know about. Trying to figure out how are we going to fit Ben Simmons into the equation if he comes back. What were y'all waiting on? D-Rose to come back on one leg? Like, what were you waiting on exactly? Like, it's not even comparable. We're trying to win a championship. You're trying to win 5 games in a row at any point in the season. Like, these are 2 completely different tiers, and there are levels to the shenanigans. Like, oh, congratulations, your attendance record is through the roof. But how is the playoff attendance? Oh, that's right, you didn't even make it, so it was 0. Like, I don't even want to hear it from y'all. From Celtic fans and Warrior fans, it's annoying and it's old, but get your shenanigans off because Kevin Durant deserves it and the Celtics, they took us to the cleaners. So by all means, get it off. But if there is anyone who should be getting absolutely roasted for the success of the Celtics, it should really be the Knicks if we're keeping it a thought, because they unloaded Fournier and Kemba Walker and made it to the finals. And meanwhile, y'all didn't even make the playoffs. Who won that exchange? People want to get on to us about the Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett shenanigans. Y'all's end of the bargain didn't even make the playoffs in the East. You telling me Julius Randle and them couldn't keep up with LaMelo Ball? You couldn't even make it into the play-in tournament? I know I probably shouldn't say things like that because it brings up a sore spot, because it reminds you to the time periods during the pandemic where your racist owner was telling his employees not to say Black Lives Matter and y'all had to go a full calendar year without any New York Knicks basketball. I totally understand that. I understand that your mascot Spike Lee continuously gets racially profiled and discriminated every time he goes to a game, complains to Stephen A. Smith on First Take. I want to call Stephen A. something, but I can't do it on Nets Republic, but it's not here or there. And then he proceeds to go to a game the next night to continue to be accosted racially. So it's just a never-ending cycle of ignorance. Like, I understand y'all are going through it, but try not to punch up at God. That your arms aren't long enough to box with God. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. If y'all want to beef with someone, go for someone on your level. Go attack the Kings, right? Go laugh at them for getting Sabonis and still not making the playoffs. Go bother them, right? Pick on someone your own literal size, please, because you don't want it with us. You want to talk about in the 3 years the Nets have only won a certain amount of games. First of all, y'all have won 1 game in the last 3 years in the playoffs, but let's talk about a statistic that we don't really bring up again. In the 3 years since we've had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, y'all haven't beat us not once. Let's talk about that. You haven't beat us not once in 3 years. Let's talk about that. In the first year, Kevin and Kyrie barely even played. Kevin Durant didn't even play from what I remember, and I don't believe Kyrie played much either. I'm a little shaky on that first year because I came in the restart, so I can't really speak to what happened before that. But to my knowledge, it's been 3 years since y'all beat us on either turf. Your oh so magical Madison Square Garden where people come and stomp you out in front of the entire world, and a little old Barclays. We call it the Clays. See, we have cool nicknames for our stuff. Y'all are just the Garden, right? And you share that with like 3 other arenas, but cool. Your Garden's cool because it's a square. That definitely describes y'all, just a bunch of friggin' squares. But I hope that works out for y'all and whatever it is that y'all are doing in your summer endeavors. Hope it works out for you. Hopefully you get Donovan Mitchell at least. If you don't, I'll be here to laugh at you. No diss tracks though. You're just quite frankly not worth it. I'll be honest with you. You're just not worth it. And while you're busy being not worth it, we're gonna go back to serious matters like, are we gonna keep Kyrie or not? Because we have the option because he came to us. So we're gonna focus on things that matter, and y'all can go back to debating should Carmelo have his jersey retired or whatever it is y'all talk about over there. Hey! RJ Barrett highlights. Good luck with that. I'm gonna go cry over Harden. You falling over RJ Barrett. Good luck with that. Kennedy, come back to Atlanta. Please. They've left us with Harry McDonald. Come